This is Dan Dix here reporting for Press for Truth, and what you guys are looking at here is a report from the Office for National Statistics on deaths by vaccination status in England. And just take a look at the unbelievably massive spike in deaths among youth who are quadruple vaccinated. The numbers are just absolutely insane here, guys. We're talking 4x vaccinated youth are 318% more likely to die than their unvaxxed peers, the Office for National Statistics confirms. In a recent dataset released by the UK government's Office for National Statistics, a surprising pattern has emerged regarding mortality rates per 100,000 in teenagers and young adults, sparking a wave of questions and calls for further investigation from public health experts. So while this study here is showing just how bad things are getting, and they're calling for further investigations into this, what are they doing currently in the UK, guys? Well, some 700,000 Brits are about to get free COVID-19 vaccine booster shots this week. Some 700,000 people in England will get a free COVID-1984 vaccine this week as the country's spring booster campaign kicks off. And of course, this isn't just localized to England. The exact same thing is happening right now where I live. BC launches a spring COVID-19 booster program targeting the vulnerable and the unvaccinated. So the unvaccinated are the next, current target for this spring COVID-1984 booster campaign. And if you guys have already rejected this experimental mRNA technology, if you have already done your research into this global inoculation program and you see it for what it is, then you are on the right side of history. And no matter what they attempt to do here to try to get us to flip the script and take the vaccine is not going to work, especially when reports are coming out constantly vindicating everything we've been warning people about. So we're going to talk about that, guys, in this video and much, much more. But really quickly, just before we do, guys, I'd ask that you check me out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate if you appreciate my efforts to bring you this information. Here you can do a one-time donation with PayPal. You can contribute Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. You could sign up for a monthly reoccurring contribution by clicking there. You can also do so by clicking here at Subscribestar. You can send an e-transfer to dan@pressfortruth.ca, or you can send stuff to my P.O. Box, guys. Links for all of this are located in the description below. Thank you so much to everyone who takes a moment today to support my efforts financially here at Press for Truth. I can't do this work without you. All right, guys, I want to start you off with this video that is now going rather viral online. This is a Canadian woman who was once mocked by her father as a conspiracy theorist. She now finds herself taking care of him after he became a victim of Pfizer. Check this out.
I want to show you something. This is a vaccine injury. He doesn't get his life back. And I'm here to tell you that the Canadian government lied, despite reassuring Canadians that shots were safe and effective. The Pfizer contract shows the government knew there was no long-term safety or efficacy data since at least October 26th of 2020. The contract reveals an access to information request reveals Pfizer's 19 contract with Canada. And I quote page 18, purchaser further acknowledges that the long-term effects and efficacy of the vaccine are not currently known and that there may be adverse effects of the vaccine that are not currently known. Again, page 18. I'm going to post a link. You can look it all up yourself. I'm sick of being right. And you know what happens when people want to tell you you've got a tinfoil hat and everything else? This happened. This man told me I had a tinfoil hat. Guess what? I'm looking after his ass now. And I'm grateful he's alive every day. He beat Pfizer. And now I'm going to make sure other people survive because of Pfizer. And I'm going to hold this Canadian government accountable. So you can take that to the bank. The pissed off parents are coming. The pissed off people are coming. And there's no way the WHO is getting in to Canada. You can mark my words. The people will rise. I'm done with this bullshit. Are you?
I certainly am. And this video is going viral, I think, because I think it resonates with a lot of Canadians who are either in a similar situation or they know somebody in a similar situation. And that's why we have to take notice when these reports are coming out, because the mainstream media will just bury this, and you won't be hearing any of this on your TVs or from the newspapers, and this is why it's so important that we continue to bring you this information. So let's take a look at this one here, guys. The ONS data set available on the ONS website details death by vaccination status from April 1st, 2021 to May 31st of 2023. Our analysis focused on mortality rates per 100,000 persons in the years from January to May 2023 among residents in England age 18 to 39, and what we found was truly shocking. Initial observations of the data proved that individuals in this age bracket who had received 4 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine exhibited higher mortality rates compared to their unvaccinated counterparts. Now, this should obviously come as no surprise to viewers of Press for Truth. This is precisely what we've been warning about. That the boosters, we're going to be giving the very, issues that we are going to be seeing, that they are going to say were caused by COVID, but no, they're actually caused by the vaccines themselves. And now we're seeing, once you get to that magical number 4, it seems to be, the possibility of dying absolutely skyrockets, according to this report, in people aged 18 to 39. In every single month, 4-dose vaccinated teenagers and young adults were significantly more likely to die than their unvaccinated teenager counterparts and these other young adults. The same can also be said for 1-dose vaccinated teenagers and young adults and 2-dose vaccinated teenagers as compared to, again, the unvaccinated. The difference in mortality rates was so stark that the unvaccinated only managed to reach a mortality rate of 31.1 per 100,000 persons in the years in January, whereas the 4-dose vaccinated managed to reach a shocking mortality rate of 106 per 100,000 persons years in the same month. So the 1-dose vaccinated also fared much worse than the unvaccinated, with a mortality rate of 53 per 100,000 persons in January compared to 31.1 for the unvaccinated. So, I mean, the numbers don't lie. I mean, look at this chart that compares the quadruple vaxxed to the completely unvaccinated. And, I mean, it's pretty shocking and pretty revealing. So, as we see here, these figures are extremely worrying. And this strongly suggests that COVID-19 vaccines increases a person's mortality rate, which in turn suggests that COVID-19 vaccination may actually be killing teens and young adults in the tens of thousands. Ladies and gentlemen, and yet, as I said, while this, research is now just becoming known, this is now starting to come out, they're worried, their focus right now in the same place is just pushing the boosters on everybody they possibly can in the lead up to, as this spring campaign, just like they're doing here in British Columbia. Even though the numbers are constantly coming in, the reports are being done that show that this is the absolute worst possible thing that you could do for yourself moving forward, guys. In fact, I want to point you to a report that I reported on earlier this year. This one here, absolute proof the COVID-19 vaccines cause mortality and fatal toxicity. This essentially is, makes this report look like a little walk in the park, because this is from Denny Rancourt and a number of other people who published this mortality rate. This is the new report entitled COVID-19 Vaccine Associated Mortality Rate in the Southern Hemisphere. It's based on 17 countries in the Southern Hemisphere, so not just England here, and the equatorial region. A definite causal link is shown between the many peaks in the all-cause mortality and the rapid vaccine rollouts. The authors of this report quantify the fatal toxicity risk per injection, which is exceedingly large, mostly in the elderly. The authors conclude that governments should immediately end the policy of prioritizing elderly people for the COVID-19 injection. In this video, Dan Dix of Press for Truth covers the latest COVID-19 84 news that vindicates what PFT has been saying now for nearly 15 years online. Guys, this is a really important report that I did on this report by Denny Rancourt and others, which shows that there is a direct correlation between the timing of the global inoculation program, the timing that everybody took these experimental mRNA jabs, and the rise in all-cause mortality rates all over the world, and certainly in these 17 countries in the Southern Hemisphere that this report studied. It just goes to show everything that we've been warning about, like this says, for nearly 15 years online, that these are causing massive spikes in death, and they absolutely must be rejected, lock, stock, and barrel, guys. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention. This study was done, was released back in August of 2023, but the data is only now starting to truly reveal itself in the fact that once you hit that magical number 4, death seems to skyrocket. So here they are pushing free boosters in England, and they're pushing the campaign on the vulnerable and the unvaccinated. We have to continue to reject this because more information is going to continue to come out in the following months and years, continuing to vindicate everything we've been saying all this time. So I want to once again remind you guys, if you are in the camp that has rejected this experimental technology in this global inoculation program, congratulations. You are on the right side of history, and I think we're going to continue to see people like us be vindicated moving forward as more and more reports like this one continue to come out. So just wanted to bring this one to your information today, guys. Once again, don't forget to check out this really important report, Absolute Proof. The COVID-19 84 vaccines cause mortality and fatal toxicity. I will include a link in the description below. I want to remind you guys again to check me out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate if you appreciate my efforts to bring you this information. And that's all for today, guys. Once again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to click that thumbs up button, share this video, and stay tuned. We're going to have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.